Okay, think about all the machinery out there just humming away constantly. Cars, factories, power plants,
Everywhere.
and keeping it all running reliably. That's absolutely critical, isn't it? Often it's down to these little parts you never really see, like bearing isolators.
Exactly. They sound simple, but bearing isolators do a really vital job. Basically, they seal rotating parts,
Keep the bad stuff out and the good stuff in.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Stop contaminants like dirt and water getting into bearings, and stop the lubricant, the oil or grease, from leaking out. It makes a massive difference to how long things last and how efficiently they run.
Right, impacts the bottom line. And that's exactly what we're digging into today. We've got this really interesting report looking at the bearing isolator market right now.
Hmm.
Our mission is basically to pull out the key insights, understand who the big players are, what's driving growth, get the whole picture.
And the first thing that really jumps out is the growth forecast. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. What are we talking?
The report sees the market growing from about, USD 1.95 billion this year, 2024,
Okay.
to potentially USD 3.12 billion by 2032.
Wow. Okay, that's quite a jump.
It is. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 6.0%.
6%. Now, that might not sound like, explosive growth on its own,
Right.
but given how many industries use these things, automotive, industrial machinery, oil and gas, that 6% translates to a lot of activity, right?
Absolutely. And the report points to why. You mentioned automotive, think electric vehicles, new demands on drivetrains, needing better, longer-lasting components. That's one driver.
Ah, okay.
Then you've got general industrial machinery, which is always huge.
Yeah.
Oil and gas, always critical. Manufacturing expanding.
So it's broad-based demand.
It is. And the common theme seems to be companies really understanding the high cost of failure. Downtimes is expensive.
Yeah, massively. A production line stops because a bearing failed. That costs a fortune.
Exactly. So investing a bit more upfront in better sealing, better bearing isolators to prevent that, it just makes economic sense.
Total sense. Proactive maintenance pays off. Now, the report also names names, right? The big companies running the show and maybe some up-and-comers.
Yes, it identifies 5 key players leading the pack right now.
Okay, who are they?
We've got Timken Company, FLIR Corporation, Parker Hannifin Corporation, E-Seal, and John Crane.
Okay, a mix of familiar names in the industrial world there. Let's maybe take them one by one, starting with Timken. What's their story?
Sure. Timken, they're U.S.-based North Canton. And they're not just isolators. They're like a global heavyweight in bearings and mechanical power transmission overall.
Right, bigger picture.
Yeah. Known for advanced tech, durable sealing solutions. The report really stresses how their products help cut maintenance costs and make equipment last longer.
In which industries are they big in?
Automotive, aerospace, energy. Pretty broad. Huge global presence, too. Over 30 manufacturing sites, something like 17,000 employees.
And financially, the report mentioned their revenue.
Yeah, 2023 revenue was $4.8 billion. Bearing isolators are a significant slice of that pie. Plus, they're constantly investing in R&D, making acquisitions, staying ahead.
That R&D piece seems crucial. Okay, next up, FLIR Corporation, also U.S.-based.
Also U.S.-based, Irving, Texas. FLIR is all about fluid motion and control products. Think pumps, valves, seals.
Ah, okay, so isolators fit naturally then.
Exactly. They specialize in sealing and isolation, especially for pumps and valves.
Yeah.
Preventing contamination, boosting reliability in really demanding sectors.
Right.
Chemical processing, oil and gas, power generation, water management, critical infrastructure stuff.
Right, and their scale, similar to Timken.
Very similar, yeah. Over 17,000 employees, operations in over 50 countries. 2023 revenue was $4.32 billion. Again, sealing tech, including isolators, is a big part of that. Precision engineering and that global reach are their big strengths.
Okay, then Parker Hannifin, another big U.S. name, right? Motion control technology.
That's them. Based in Cleveland. Huge in motion and control, they leverage all that expertise to make innovative bearing isolators too.
And the goal is the same, better performance, longer life.
Pretty much.
Aye.
Across aerospace, automotive, industrial manufacturing. Their overall sales in 2023 were massive, almost $20 billion. Isolators are just one part, but an important one.
What makes their isolators stand out, according to the report?
Key things seem to be durability and energy efficiency. They're built tough, designed to handle harsh conditions. That's a big selling point in many industrial settings.
Makes sense. Okay, number 4 was E-Seal, and they're UK-based, you said.
That's right, Rotherham in the UK. E-Seal is interesting because they're really focused specifically on mechanical seals and bearing isolators. That's their core business.
A specialist.
Exactly. Advanced sealing tech is their game. preventing contamination and wear, particularly in industries like um, chemical processing, food and beverage, pharmaceuticals, where cleanliness and reliability are non-negotiable.
Right, sensitive environments.
Yeah. Reducing maintenance, cutting downtime. Their 2023 revenue was over $500 million, so smaller than the others perhaps, but very focused, and isolators are key for them.
And the report mentioned something about eco-friendly products.
It did. They have a commitment to innovation, but also sustainability, which is becoming more and more important for customers.
Definitely. Okay, last of the top 5, John Crane, back in the U.S.
Yep, Chicago-based. Another leading name specifically in sealing and bearing protection. They offer a really wide range of isolator types.
All aimed at.
Same goals, really. Protecting machinery from contamination, boosting reliability, serving those critical industries, again, oil and gas, power, water treatment.
Their key strengths.
Innovation, reliability, strong customer support, and like the other big players, a solid global presence.
Okay, so that's the top 5. Dominant players, clearly, but maybe with slightly different focuses or strengths. How does the report suggest we compare them? What are the criteria?
It lays out a few key things. First, obviously, financial stability revenue, market share, trends. Gives you a sense of their muscle.
Right.
Then, product offerings. Are they mainly doing, say, elastomeric isolators, the rubbery kind, maybe for less demanding jobs?
Okay.
Or are they focused on metallic ones? Or maybe hybrid designs. Different materials suit different applications, different levels of toughness.
Got it. Tech innovation must be big, too.
Huge.
Yeah.
How much are they spending on R&D? Are they using advanced materials, special coatings? Do they offer customization, features like extra durability or efficiency?
R&D investment, too. What about collaboration?
Yeah, strategic partnerships. Are they working with, say, equipment manufacturers or maintenance providers? That can really extend their reach and capabilities. Looking at all these factors together gives a clearer view of the competitive landscape.
Right, how they stack up against each other. Now, talking about competition, the report also flags some emerging threats, right? Companies challenging the big 5.
It does. It names 4 specifically. Baldor Electric Company, Advanced Sealing International, Isomag Corporation, and Elliott Group.
Okay, Baldor Electric, that name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Motors, right?
Exactly. Well established in electric motors, motion control, based in Fort Smith, USA. They've branched out into bearing isolators, focusing on energy efficiency and durability.
Leveraging their existing reputation.
Precisely. They've got a strong name for quality. They invest in R&D. They have a wide distribution network already. Makes sense for them to move into this case. Plus, they're pushing into emerging markets.
Interesting. Okay, what about Advanced Sealing International? UK-based, I guess.
Yes, UK-based. They're known for high-performance sealing solutions generally, and that includes isolators. Again, focus on preventing contamination, extending equipment life.
What's their angle?
Seems to be innovation and engineering focus. They make some specialized products for industries like oil and gas, chemicals, food processing, and they emphasize sustainability and custom solutions for niche applications, maybe tackling areas the big guys don't focus on as much.
So finding specific niches makes sense. Next was Isomag Corporation. Sounds specialized.
It is, U.S. company. Their specialty is magnetic bearing isolators.
Magnetic. How does that work?
Well, it's a different approach to sealing, uses magnetic fields. The report suggests it's gaining traction because it offers really high resistance to wear and contamination. Very advanced stuff.
So a tech advantage.
Potentially, yeah. Especially for critical applications where standard seals might struggle. They seem focused on tailored, high-performance solutions for specific equipment.
Fascinating. Okay, and the 4th emerging player, Elliott Group.
Elliott Group, based in Jeannette, USA. They're a big name in rotating equipment, generally turbines, compressors, that kind of thing.
Ah, so they know the machinery these isolators go into.
Exactly. They have a growing presence in bearing isolation, often providing custom-engineered solutions as part of larger equipment packages. They're focusing more on advanced isolators for petrochemical, energy, manufacturing. They've got the global reach and customer base already.
So all these emerging players are using slightly different strategies, leveraging existing strengths, focusing on niches, pushing new tech.
Right. Innovation, R&D, strategic expansion. They're finding ways to compete, offering maybe cost-effective alternatives or customized, high-performance options.
So if a new company wanted to break into this market today, what should they focus on? What does the report suggest is the path to success against these established and emerging players?
The report highlights a few key things. First, definitely developing advanced sealing tech,
Like the magnetic ones.
like the magnetic ones. Or maybe new materials, better resistance to corrosion, wear, extreme temperatures, whatever. You need something innovative to stand out, meet those rising demands for reliability and efficiency.
Makes sense. You need an edge. What else?
Cost effectiveness is crucial. It's always a balance, isn't it? Performance versus price.
Always.
So new entrants need to find ways to source materials or design products that offer good durability and performance, but at a competitive price point. High quality, but affordable.
Tricky balance. What about market strategy? Go global or focus?
The report leans towards a strategic regional focus, especially targeting fast-growing markets. Asia-Pacific comes up a lot. Lots of industrialization, manufacturing growth there.
So target the hotspots.
Yeah, and maybe build local partnerships. Joint ventures, it can help get established faster, build brand visibility in those key regions.
Right. Boots on the ground locally. That makes sense. Anything else for newcomers?
Sustainability. We mentioned eSeal focusing on it.
Right.
Developing energy-efficient isolators, ones with less environmental impact, that appeals to a growing number of customers, and it aligns with tightening regulations, too. It can be a real differentiator.
So the playbook for new entrants seems to be innovate the tech, manage the cost, target growing regions strategically, and embrace sustainability.
That sums it up pretty well. Focusing on those areas gives new players a fighting chance in this dynamic market.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together then. Key takeaways from this deep dive into the bearing isolator market report.
Well, first off, the market's definitely growing, looking pretty healthy for the next decade or so.
Driven by that need for reliability.
Exactly. It's dominated by these big established players. Timken, Flowserve, Parker Hannifin, ASEAL, John Crane, who have deep pockets for R&D and global reach.
But they're not complacent.
No, because you've got these emerging companies, Baldor, Advanced Sealing, Isomag, Elliott Group, snapping at their heels with innovation, maybe better pricing, specialized solutions.
And the underlying drivers are strong, right? Industrial expansion, manufacturing growth.
Yeah, and that relentless pressure to improve reliability and cut maintenance costs. It all fuels demand.
So for anyone in this market, established or new,
Continuous investment in R&D seems absolutely vital. And probably diversifying product offerings, exploring new technologies and materials, that's key for long-term success.
it really is fascinating, isn't it? How these, relatively small, often hidden components like bearing isolators play such a critical role.
Absolutely. The smooth running of so much of our industrial world depends on them working properly.
And innovation here, even if it seems niche, actually contributes a lot to wider economic activity, technological progress. It kind of makes you wonder what other seemingly minor components tucked away inside complex systems might actually hold the keys to the next big leaps in efficiency or capability across different industries. Definitely something to think about.